Hi, good evening everybody. My name's Alex Gilby. I'm the Academic Director at AIT. I'll be your host for this evening. In just a moment, the graduands are going to come in. When they do, well just before they do, I'll ask that you all please stand up. However, a little bit of housekeeping. Please put your phones on silent because I've done that myself in the past and the graduands haven't appreciated it. And if by chance there is any sentient life that comes from our animations and we have to run for our lives, we have escape stairs, fire stairs just near the elevators, and all you need to do is follow my lead for that event, but apart from that we should be fine. I'll wait for... Okay, thank you. It's a really wonderful event tonight. I am really, really happy that everybody has come out to support the graduands for 2024. If you could all please be upstanding, I'd like to usher them in. These are the graduands of AIT for 2024. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Now, before I get started, I'll just check, are we streaming online as well? Hello, everybody who is joining us online from all around the world. Welcome to the 2024 AIT, class of 2024 AIT graduation. It is a real honour for me to be here tonight, celebrating the successes of this particular cohort. Back in 2022, we undertook a little bit of a strategy to redesign a number of our programs in interactive media, bachelors of 2D, 3D, film and games, and we also uplifted our Bachelor of IT. And this is the first graduating cohort of the first bachelors that were redeveloped as a part of our curriculum overhaul back in 2022. So there is a significant momentum, there is a significant achievement here, and also something that's going to be remembered at AIT for the rest of its time. You are the first graduating group from our brand new bachelors and our overhauled Bachelor of IT. Now I'd like to welcome the friends, the family, parents and the guests who are all here to support the graduands this evening. I think it's a really, really great achievement, as I said, for you to come this far, but the support that you get throughout your studies is also quite significant from your partners, from your family, from your colleagues, and from your academics. And I'd also like to welcome the academic team who is sitting just behind our graduands. This team, plus all of the additional sessional and casual staff that have been here for the last few years, have made a real difference to those who are sitting in front of us. Before going too far forward, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we meet, the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung Bunurong Boon Wurrung peoples of the Kulin Nation. The Indigenous people that have come before us have actually performed age-old ceremonies in storytelling, dance, communication, camaraderie and community I'd like to pay my respects to the elders past, present, and those that are emerging for the contribution that they will have on the future. Now, like the Indigenous people, we all have stories. You create stories in IT, animation, film and games. And each of us individually has our own history. Personally, I have an Indigenous story as well. In fact, my great-great-grandfather was the first Aboriginal person in New South Wales to own land, and his father was one of the first Indigenous humans in Australia to vote. One of the significant parts of their upbringing is that they were in an area at a time where things were changing. They knew that there was a change in politics, they knew that there was a change in perspective, there was a change in policy, and they knew that one of the most important elements to them was their community, and they needed to keep people safe. Therefore, adaptation and an understanding of what society expected was important. There's a big Catholic, Protestant, secular divide around that time, and in the mid to late 1800s, there was a big expansion, particularly around New South Wales. And my great-great-grandfather was involved on a political level with the Catholic Church at that time, who was trying to establish presence in Western Sydney. So what he did was bring them together. He gave them gifts. He worked with them to establish educational rights and allow them to communicate with the Indigenous people around the area. In fact, one story that I remember is that he had a possum skin cloak sewn and presented it to the Archbishop at a tribal ceremony for him to take back to Rome to talk about the collaboration that was occurring with these groups and the white settlers around the area. Now, some people believe in holding strong to values, and I absolutely think that that is important. But it's also important to look to the future and consider the outcomes of what you're trying to achieve. And in this particular scenario, the actions that my family took at this particular time resulted in having no children taken from their families and non-segregated education being a part of the entire culture of this community. Now, in the scenario of Australia back in the mid-1800s, that's quite remarkable because there was a lot of policy that was completely anti-Indigenous, and we all know what that was like. But the collaboration and the adaptation and the community building that these particular groups implemented protected their families and protected their culture. And it's not too different to some of the things that we're going through now, because we all have to adapt and we all have to deal with the unknown. We also have to think about ourselves, the influence of our own practices, but the wider community that we involve ourselves with, and consider how it's going to change or change us moving forward. The industries that you are walking into as graduands are global, connected, and fast moving. They're faster moving than they ever have been at the moment. There is a very strong demand for digital skills. There is a very growing demand for animation, film advancements, IT and games. But there also is a lot of change that's coming with generative AI, technological advancements, new software, and also the power that the human brings. And one of the benefits that you've got is that you've had to go through a number of these changes. You've had to experience them head on, but you've also learned a lot about yourselves, and you are equipped to be able to take a lot of learning, not just technical, but also human, into the world. When we redesigned the curriculum back in 2022, we undertook a lot of research, and we spoke with industry, we spoke with existing students, we spoke with the academic team, and we looked at the future and where it was headed. One of the most significant components of our studies revealed that it's not just the technical that industry looks for, but it's also the professional, it's the human, it's the emotional. Industries all across society, particularly in interactive media and IT, are looking for graduates and professionals to be able to adapt, to be able to learn new things, to be able to collaborate, to communicate and work together. So we embedded these things in the course, and there's been a lot of feelings over the years from students about subjects that are necessary and unnecessary and have relevance and don't have relevance, but everything that we have put into these courses has been looking forward to this moment. I'd like you all to think about the term T-shaped. Think about T-shaped. What we've tried to do is we've tried to teach the students, teach you, that you need a really deep technical skill set, but you also need a broad, adaptable skill set. You need to be able to speak to people, promote yourself, learn skills in other areas, understand new technologies, and at the end of everything, be able to keep learning. Now you've got an opportunity now to go forward and be able to do that in your industries and show your prospective employers that you are not one-dimensional, but you have got a T-shaped skill set. And there's a lot of opportunities that you're facing. For example, in IT, there are 1.3 million tech workers expected in Australia by the year 2030. Roles in data science, in programming, in emerging technologies, in systems, in networking, these are all still in demand. For the IT students, we've been teaching you a plethora of skills that cater to those particular outcomes so that you can take them into your industries. In games, there is a bucket load of indie studio work available. Australian games are really leading the way, and the Australian government is investing a lot of money. $339.1 million worth of revenue is expected to be generated in the Australian games industry in the next 12 months, with tens of thousands of employees expected to be able to contribute. In film and television, it's interesting because there are peaks and troughs in the film industry, but the one thing that is remaining strong is Australian film. There's $1.7 billion worth of revenue expected in the Australian film industry in the next 18 months, with investment from places like Screen Victoria, Screen Australia, Screen New South Wales, and the establishment of new studios. There's one being built in New South Wales over the next few years, which will ideally generate a lot of employment opportunities for students coming out of courses like these. Animation is growing rapidly. There's been a 2D animation renaissance, which can be identified by the students that we've got here in 2D, but also 3D is really burgeoning. In fact, there's a compound annual growth rate of 14.8% year on year expected from 2024 to 2030 in the animation industry, meaning that it is constantly growing despite the challenges that emerging technology are throwing at the industries. Underlying all of that, as I said, the Australian interactive media ecosystem is being founded on the soft skills of its employees. It is looking for students that can't just do one thing, but can do multiple things or learn how to do additional things. You are a really, really great vantage point because you've had to come through COVID. You've had to learn new skills. You've had to do it when class numbers are low, remote learning is high, and you haven't always had access at your fingertips when you've wanted it. But you've gotten here. Just want you to take 10 seconds to think about the fact that you are here. You are graduating. You've gotten through challenge after challenge after challenge, and you've come to this point. You're going to face more challenges. Markets are volatile. You know technology is emerging. Whether you like it or not, artificial intelligence is changing workflows, is changing roles, and is being used in all industries. That doesn't mean that you are not valuable. In fact, the skills that you've been able to generate over your time here have taught you how to adapt, taught you how to put your craft at the forefront, but also take a critical eye to perfect things. Now, artificial intelligence is never going to be able to perfect things because that's what humans do. The way that you've been able to work with others, the way that you've been able to wrangle others, the way that you've been able to work on projects, the way that you've been able to refine and continually grow is testament to the human abilities within you. The other thing that you've had to do is interact with other people, compete with other people who are not just in your geographical location. You've had those punks in Sydney that you've had to deal with from time to time. You've had them in your groups, you've had them in your classes, and you've had to be able to position yourself differently to them. Now that's not going to stop because you're going to have people all around the world that you're competing with. But you know what? That's cool. That's what you've prepared for. You've got this, and you're here now, and you've been able to succeed so far, so why not keep going? There are some practical survival strategies that I've got for you, though, that might help in the future. And they're not rocket science. In fact, many of you have been doing them anyway. Don't stop building your portfolios. And don't stop building portfolios that demonstrate outcomes. You're at the stage now where you've all started putting together a relatively good selection of good work. So keep good work in your portfolios, keep new good work coming through. Be T-shaped. Don't just focus on one thing. Focus on doing things very well, but don't stop learning additional things and never stop adapting or building your human skills. Network intentionally. There's a difference between going to a party or going to a talk where other people in the industry speak your language and are interested in your skills. Be business savvy. Now, know that doing something well is great, but you also need to understand intellectual property. You also need to understand contracts. You also need to understand negotiating rates and freelancing. And we've taught you those things to a degree. But if you need any help, come back. Brad loves talking. Brad will keep talking to you about all of the freelancing techniques that you
My
need.
turn next, isn't it?
Embrace adaptation. As a human, it doesn't even matter whether you're a professional or not. Adaptation is survival. As you grow, as you become more professional, more experienced, you will change. But that is going to be a constant, so embrace it. And tell stories that matter. Underlying everything that you've studied, be it IT, animation, games, or film, you're here because you're doing something that matters to you. So keep making it matter. Never lose that integrity, never lose the ethical lens, never lose the passion, because you have done something here that you are passionate about, and that is why AIT exists. Now I'm going to leave you in a second and hand over to our keynote speaker, but I'd also like you to think of one more thing. As you are evolving and as you are going out into the world, you will start to spiral. Spiraling is not a bad thing. Spiraling is about growth. And as you spiral out, you will learn new things, you will broaden your horizons, you will become more of a T, and it is exponential growth that you will experience. So spiral. Keep pushing, keep growing, keep evolving, and keep making stories that matter. Now, for the next part of the evening, it's a real pleasure of mine to introduce our keynote speaker, Nathan Ortiz. Now, having worked in the film industry for over 20 years, Nathan's credits are both extensive and impressive. That have encompassed everything from Elvis to Dark Knight Rises to Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Happy Feet and Elf. And over the years, Nathan's created magic spells, historically accurate crowds, bat swarms, collapsing buildings, and even an elf. Nathan's recent work includes standout contributions to Furiosa, Mad Max saga, which saw him work on approximately 200 shots involving epic sand dunes. Now, I didn't think sand dunes could be epic until I saw Furiosa, CG vehicles, and even nerve-jangling digital stunts. He's also delivered live-action movie How to Train Your Dragon, where he was the supervising dragon Supervising Dragon?
Sure.
Supervising Dragon and environment work. Please welcome Nathan to the stage for Aspertine.
Hello. Thank you, everybody. Wonderful thoughts. I want to thank you as well. This is a really important and special time for you and your families and all your supporters.
Nathan?
Yes?
You might actually need the microphone.
Okay, that's all right.
You might need to put it higher. I think I had it too low.
Everybody hear me now? Is that all right? Still can't hear me. All right. Well, you know, that might be the first time someone says they couldn't hear me. So is that any better? Yes. Thank you. All right. Well, let's just get into some. I just want to pay a little bit of my reel, of my portfolio, and we'll talk after. Thanks. I'm Nathan. I've been doing this a little while. The reason why I'm here is because I'm pretty old, pretty much. That's the real reason. I've been doing visual effects for around 25 years. I'm fortunate enough to be working on my 50th movie this year. I got my start in Los Angeles. You might notice the accent. My wife's Australian, and so are my kids, so there you go. I was there for 8 years. I started at Rhythm and Hughes in a junior pipeline role and worked on nights and weekends. My first job was a second job. I was working as a computer programmer during the week, but then on the nights and weekends I would watch the render farm and make tapes. That's how we got uploads and downloads before. I did that for 8 years, went into effects, and eventually started being an effects supervisor. Then I had some time in London. It was about 8 years in London at Double Negative, where again I did effects, and then moved into a CG sequence supervisor and CG supervisor role. And now I've been in Melbourne for 9 years, here at what used to be Method, but now is called Framestore. And I've been doing CG supervision for a little while now. I want to talk to you guys today about communication and confidence. I think it builds a lot on what you've already heard. But what I do and what we do is a visual medium. And there's these critical moments, I think, that are the most important. And again, you have to adapt this to who you are, your personal experience, your style. But I think these things work when you're presenting your work, that critical moment. For me, it was always in a screening room, a dark room like this, except facing this way. Now it might be on a call, which is a different thing, which you guys would have experienced in your program. But you have that moment where your work is being shown, and now you're discussing which way it's going to go. I call that the last mile, because everything else is like running a marathon. You've got that last bit. I want you to remember these big points. The first thing is the images are where it starts. The images are your power. They're your ticket in, your currency. Without that, nothing else works. But you can only be as happy as you can be in the time that you're given. So be as happy as you can before you're presenting it. But once you're there, you can also cheat a little bit. I tend to, where I can, where it doesn't stand on its own, it's a tough concept like the shield over Hogwarts. What shape is that? Show a really simple diagram. It's a sphere. It's an egg. whatever it is, but to sell your idea. Sometimes that's reference you've shot of yourself. Sometimes it's individual YouTube clips you've found that work for what you're trying to show. But that supplemental material will really help sell your idea. I think those kinds of little tricks can really help and give you confidence to do what I think is the most important thing, is to communicate, I am the person who has a plan. So the next thing is you want to present your work. You want to say, I'm happy about this, I'm not happy about that. That sounds simple, but sometimes that can be tricky. If you are the one that says, I've done this and this, I've addressed this notes, or this is my first look and I want your comments, and I'm not happy about this. I want to add more smoke, I don't think it's fast enough. People are going to recognize this person has a plan. They're the person that I need to go back to for this work. So you've made these wonderful images. You've got some supplemental material, maybe. You've now presented your plan. Someone's going to ask you to do more work, hopefully. And that's the tricky part. You want to make sure you give realistic timeframes. Someone might say, can I have that for tomorrow? The real simple answer would be, yes, I can do it. Many times I've made that mistake. You have absolutely the ability to say, I can do this, but maybe not that. Or even, I'll come back to you with a time frame. The most important thing is not to overpromise. When you become realistic with those time frames, you become reliable and become a source of that work. And now you really are setting yourself up to be the expert. You've made the images, you're the source, you've explained your plan, and you're going to be really honest about how long it's going to take to get the work changed and prepared for the next version. I think that simple group of things can make all the difference to communicating really confidently with where you're at. Now, the real reason I'm here is to say we really need you. Really building on what you've heard. We need your enthusiasm, your energy, your creativity, your non-artificial intelligence. And you need your friendship and the human skills you've heard talked about. That's what we're looking for, because teams that are communicating confidently, trusting each other, being reliable, that's where you do your best work. And that's how you end up being able to do multiple projects, have different jobs, different skills, and be able to really become part of the team. And that's where I've always felt, that's why I love it. That's why the passion. It's moved from just making movies. I've made many, many movies, but the thing that I care about the most now is the team and how they're developing and the work that we're producing as a group. So again, I want to thank you for letting me be part of this. And don't forget all the things you've done up to this point. Rely on that, because that's where you're headed next. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Nathan. I think it's really fortunate to have someone like Nathan to impart wisdom and to also talk about the needs of industry, because it is really easy to think about the skills you have, and they are very important. But if you think about the greatest experiences of your life, they've got something to do with other people. And when you enjoy the humans that you work with, when you can contribute to a community, it makes it that little bit more valuable. So thank you. I think that is really, really great advice. In a moment, I have two other guests that I'd like to bring up to the stage, who I'm really, really excited to have with us. But before I do that, I would just like to show you some of the work that the cohort in front of us has produced. We have a show reel of the graduating student work, which I'll ask Brad to coordinate now. And feast your eyes, because I love watching this. I've watched it about 20 times and I'm really happy with it. There's some really cool work there. Congratulations, everybody. It's really enjoyable to see the fruits of your labours really come into fruition, and I think you should be really proud of yourselves. Now, for the next part of the evening, as I said, I'd like to bring two additional guests up here who are members of our student body who are going to give an address to the group. I'm really happy that we've got a couple of people here because it's lovely when people have pride in what they do and they really want to communicate about their experience. So please, if I could bring to the stage Jenna Riley and Luca Ha. Now I'll give this to you and one of you can potentially hold it or attach it.
I'll hold it. That might be easier.
How do you tell the difference between a pirate, a programmer, and a pirating programmer? Pirates say, aye aye. Programmers say, aye aye. And the pirating programmer says, the government's out to get me. Throughout my time at AIT, I found that projects were always easier and much more fun when we got to share it, joke about it, and improve on them together. I really want to thank all my classmates who actually showed up to all the in-person lectures and all the in-person classes. I feel like we really leveled up our skills through banter, competing, sharing, and showing off little features. It always helped push me to get better. Especially seeing what everyone built, it always gave me new ideas, and AIT gave us this community perfectly. Being in class, surrounded by creative minds and chaotic energy, often inspired me to add little touches, especially if it could make people laugh. In one class, I made a confectionery website, and I brought chocolate just for people to enjoy during the presentation. I added a profanity filter since it was live and just for safety. And of course, my classmates immediately broke through this. Technology is always changing, and sometimes it can feel impossible to keep up. I'm really thankful that at AIT, our teachers are industry professionals. They didn't just teach us what was relevant, but they made sure we were learning what is. Some even went out of their way to innovate the syllabus, to teach us more modernized technologies and make sure we're ready for the real world. On behalf of all graduates, I want to thank our families and partners for supporting us, especially through every late night study session, every panic, and every victory. And of course, thank you to our teachers for guiding us, challenging us, and believing in us. As for the future, I'm not pessimistically excited about it for once. I'm actually excited. The tech world can be intimidating, but AIT showed me how great it feels to build, share, and grow with others. I'll of course miss bouncing ideas around with my classmates, but I hope to find a team where I can do something like that again. One where we can keep coming up with creative, maybe even crazy ideas that will help change the future. Thank you, and I'll now hand over to Jenna.
Hi, everyone. Here, at our core, we are creatives, constantly revisiting the same shots, scenes, and ideas in our minds. We strive relentlessly for perfection, or at least have it pass as, hey, you can art good, and better yet, I'm getting paid for it. Our experience has taught us that every detail, every mistake, and every moment of doubt has been crucial in preparing us for our path ahead. However, this doesn't mean our days of second guessing and making mistakes are behind us. Embrace the process. Allow yourself to feel embarrassed. Go out and cringe at your work. Question your choices. Lean into these feelings because that demonstrates growth and improvement that comes from pushing through. So, as you move forward, remember, if you can't draw a straight line, draw a squiggly one, because it's going to be just as beautiful. Each act of creativity flowing through the masterpiece that demonstrates your own growth. Stay curious. Don't shy away from discomfort and try everything. Keep creating boldly and letting every challenge and experience fuel the story only you guys can tell. So thank you. Thank you to the teachers who have demonstrated everything and has taught us amazingly. Student services, who has truly kept this place alive and running. The parents who have encouraged us to follow our dreams and are so proud of us right now. To the partners who we've had to lean on for love and comfort through those moments of a lot of struggle. And everyone here in front of me graduating, as we have just completed an incredible stepping stone in our lives, and it's no small feat. So please be proud of yourselves because you've deserved it. Congratulations.
I know an academic team who are going to plagiarise that joke. Luca, that was a classic, and I'm sure it's going to be used in a number of lectures. And Jenna, I think that analogy of drawing a squiggly line was wonderful. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to bring to the stage Rachel Mason, who is our Academic Support and Services Manager. And we've reached the point of the night where we would like to celebrate the achievements of the students officially. Now, as previously endorsed by AIT's academic board, and in my authority as the academic director, I will admit the graduands in attendance and those who are unable to make it into their respective fields. Rachel will call each of the students to receive their awards, and I ask everybody to follow what we practiced earlier, and it'll be fine. But if it's not, it'll still be fine. So if I could ask you to please be ready, and Rachel.
Thank you. Liam Garth. This is Diploma of Interactive Media. Oh, sorry, Diploma of 2D Animation. Okay, first mistake out of the way, it's fine. Next. Piera Viesca. Diploma of 3D Animation.
2D.
No, that's okay, we're up to it.
Yeah. Benny Nguyen. Diploma of Film, Mufata Dunbar.
Did really good.
Associate Degree of Interactive Media, Daniel Bragan. Bachelor of Interactive Media 2D Animation, Matthew Shu. Mohammed Abu Bakr. Valentina Brugaletta. Bachelor of Interactive Media 3D Design, Vanessa Sasakura. Second row, please stand up. Please line up.
First row, you can come and sit down. Thank you. Bachelor of Interactive Media, Film and Video. Fauzan Khan. Leira Matsumoto. Tristan Boykat. Bachelor of Interactive Media Game Design, Riley Ashburn. Bachelor of 2D Animation, Christian Burke. Christian Zulich. Jasmine Garland. Jenna Riley. John Farr. Marin Reed. For Bachelor of 3D Animation, Jasmine Frost. Third row, please stand up. Second row, you can come back in. Joyce Tran. Catherine Cook. Lee Yam Young. Bachelor of Film, Oshan Wijeratna. Bachelor of Information Technology, GAP, and I can't remember what the G stands for.
Games programming.
Games Programming, sorry. Adam Williams. Bachelor of Interactive Media Mobile App Development, Adam Sheharde.
Thank you.
Deborah Feynman. Julian Portilla. Guldeep Gurung. Luca Har. And Sabine Rout.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Don't go too far away. I would like to congratulate everybody, but first, row 3, please come back and take your seats. Now, Jenna mentioned this during her speech, but I would also like to make a note to say that the success of the graduating cohort is really, really up to a lot of their own work, but the support that they were given by our student services team throughout their studies has been exceptional. And you will have seen tonight Lee here handing out a number of awards. But none of this would have been possible without Lee, with the way that she has coordinated, wrangled, dedicated time, set up chairs, made sure that everything runs smoothly. So thank you very much. You are very appreciated. And I know that these students do the same thing.
You all get to think of me when you look at your certificates. I printed every single one.
Now, by virtue of being endorsed by AIT's academic board and by receiving your testima, you have all officially moved from graduands to graduates. You may move the tassels on your cap to the left-hand side as a symbol of your new status. Congratulations. Before closing out the night, there are a couple of additional awards that we have. Now, these awards symbolise dedication, consistent effort, and outcomes that have been really, really appreciated. The first awards today are for students in the interactive media and IT fields who have achieved significant academic excellence. I'll call Rachel back to the stage to present these awards. They're issued to students in both of these faculties with the highest grade point average. Now, this year it was very, very close at the top, but by percentage points, The award for information technology goes to Adam Williams with a GPA of 6.87. Congratulations, Adam. You need to take your photo. Now, a note on Adam as well. Adam's graduating from the Bachelor of IT Games Programming, and he is the last student in this degree to do so, and has done it with the highest grade point average. So, congratulations. And again, by percentage points, the award for the interactive media academic excellence goes to Vanessa Sasakura. And we may have had a printing error.
Sorry, so we'll do it
with
again,
your-
but we'll give you the award after. Sorry.
I'll have yours before you go.
Okay.
But just do a handshake. Yeah.
Very well.
In addition to the Academic Excellence Award every year, AIT recognises students who demonstrate a significant contribution to the success of others. They demonstrate a real deep level of character and integrity. They volunteer, they put their hand up, they come in when they're not needed, and they also provide support for other students. And we call this the Integrity Award. This year, there's a student who I've seen grow over the years. Every time I'm in Sydney, this student's around, supporting others, wrangling others.
Sorry, every time you're in Melbourne.
Sorry, I said Sydney, didn't I? My apologies, you can stone me afterwards. But it fills me with a lot of pride to give this award, and I think it's highly deserved. And I'd like to call Jenna Riley to the stage. Now that about brings us to the end of the night. Of course, we have a number of refreshments and snacks available, but significant to any graduation ceremony is a photo of all of the graduands with a toss of their cap as high as they possibly can in a room like this. So I'd like everybody to focus on Josh for a second, who is going to facilitate this. And if all of you could do as you're asked for one final moment, that'll be the last thing that you do at AIT.
Does everyone want to stand up? And can we just squeeze into the middle here? So if you're on the middle row, just push into the middle. Yeah, that's it. Squeeze in as tight as we can, as tight as we can. Nice. Yeah, start with it in your hand, everyone. We'll just squeeze back a little bit, back. It's getting nice and tight. Can we come around to the front? Yep. Yeah, you guys come.
Oh, Jan, could you please stay here for a second too? Oh, she's gone. Sorry.
Yeah, great. All right. Yeah, cautious with the ceiling, of course. On the count of 3, I want everyone to just little toss in the air, big cheer. Ready? Hang on, make sure everyone's in. Squeeze in. Do you guys want to come around to the front? Yep, squeeze into the front. Keep going. That's it, a little bit more. Cool, that should be everyone. All right, ready? All right, everyone have it ready? Hang on, sorry. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Congratulations, everybody. Well done. Thank you. Now, the last thing that I would like to say while we're all winding down as well is a really big thank you to Jan Vandenend, who's our National Sales and Marketing Manager. And I want to say thank you because Jan and her team have pulled together a lot of the collateral, a lot of the printing, a lot of the bright lights that you will see today, at very short notice with a very tight timeline. And this wouldn't have looked as cool without Jan's support. So Jan, thank you very much. And Jan's team put together the show reel of all of your work and added in last minute bits that weren't sent to us in time just because it was important. That's all of the proceedings over for everybody. Please go and enjoy some canapes and some refreshments. Say hello to your academics. Socialise with one another. Network intentionally, and congratulations.
Same to you. Well done, mate. You went on the special things thing with all the guys running on the
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you, dude. Yeah, we broke it. Messed up.